absolutes. Disease symptoms, you will often have discoloration or mottling, as well as mold growth or stunted and abnormal growth when your plant is dealing with the disease. You can check out the Info Hub Managing Plant Disease page. So in this picture on the left right here, that is a picture of something called bean rust. And so I talked a little bit about it with nematodes, but the origins of many diseases, they can be spread through the soil, the wind, the water, from humans and animals, insects, and infected seeds or seedlings. And so diseases have a lot of different vectors to get around. Certain soil-borne diseases can persist in the soil for several years or a decade or more. And so when it comes to disease, like animal waste is something to worry about. Like if you have chickens, for example, you don't want to be adding the chicken waste directly into your garden. You want to make sure it's been composted for a long time, and the high heat of the compost has killed any salmonella bacteria that exists in the guts of avians. Something that I learned over the course of keeping rabbits, that rabbit waste can be used you can add that directly to your soil safely. It just has to do with what gut bacteria that they have. And so you can safely put rabbit manure in your soil. Disease, an open invitation. That in that picture is of a cucurbit, something in the cucumber family, maybe a zucchini or cucumber itself, and it has what's called powdery mildew. And so that's a really common fungus that affects things in the cucumber family. It's so prevalent that oftentimes at Braddock Farms, we do a 3-week succession cycle on our zucchini. And so the disease and pest pressure is so great that every 3 weeks, we want to plant new zucchini so that the old ones that are the most diseased can be pulled out and we can get the new ones going. And so every 3 weeks, we will plant new zucchini or cucumbers to keep up with the disease and pest pressure. And so that's what it takes sometimes. Temperature, moisture, too much or too little nutrition, tight spacing, injuries to the plants themselves, all those things can be a way. The more stress that the plant has, the more likely it is to get diseased. It's just like a human. If you're healthy and happy, you're less likely to get sick. And so you want to give your plants the right conditions. Tools. So when it comes to tools, like I said, my favorite tool is the Stirrupo, but there's all sorts of specialized tools out there that you can use. A trapezoid hoe is another one, a top one of a favorite of mine. And when it comes to maintaining these tools, flaxseed oil, it comes in the form of linseed oil. That's a good oil to use for keeping the wood and the metal of your tools in good condition. And so the better you upkeep those things, the longer life your tools are going to have ultimately. And yeah, you want to store your tools properly as well. We all know the stepping on the rake thing, so we don't want to do that. I think that picture right there is at the YMCA garden in Homewood. They built their shed out of doors, partly. So I'm reaching the end of the presentation. So what's next? Like I said, check out our website and look for upcoming workshops. I definitely can't plug the Info Hub enough. It's definitely helped me. Like when I was, newer to gardening, I still come back to some of those Info Hub sheets, on a yearly basis, looking at the seeding chart or how I want to plan out my garden that year. There's a whole bunch of great resources on the info hub. So just go to growpittsburgh.org, and in the drop-down menu, you'll see the info hub. And so we have the soil screening event on April 8th and 9th. That's a 2-day event, and there will be more details coming out about that pretty soon. So check the website for that, or social media. Grow Pittsburgh is having a plant and seed swap on March 12th. This is a really great event that we've been hosting for 4 or 5 years now, but it's been really huge even in the pandemic. And so it's a great way for local people to swap plants and seeds with others and connect over gardening. And like I said, the Garden Resource Center, it opens on March 19th. And then on the same day, we have a seed starting workshop on March 19th also. So that's going to be, that seed starting workshop is going to be run by our Shiloh and Frick farm manager, Hannah Mosca. And so she knows everything. She's in charge of our annual seedling sale. So she really knows what she's doing when it comes to seeding and starting seeds, because she grows tens of thousands of them every year and sells them to the public. And so that's the end of my presentation. If anyone has any questions, I'll be sticking around for a while to answer questions. Yeah, and I will definitely send this presentation out to everyone on the list that registered. I think I have everyone that's here, so I'll make sure I send that to everyone. If not this evening, then tomorrow morning. And yeah, thank you so much for coming. And definitely, if you have any questions related to gardening, like if I can't answer them, I'll pass it along to Farmer Nick or Farmer Hannah. And between all of our 20 or so staff, we can answer all of your gardening questions. Yeah, thanks so much for coming, everybody. And hope you didn't mind the dogs too much.